in the last part of Lamplight City.
Linda Walker, you are under arrest for the kidnapping of Charles Harris. Surrender the child and come with me.
No, you've got it all wrong. This is my son. This is my Alexander.
And I need to figure out how I'm going to sleep through the night without the soporific.
You worry about that too much, Miles. You can sleep when you're dead.
Now then, will you be wanting another drink?
I'm not sure. I've already had 2. I should probably be getting... Wait a minute. Patrick, do you hear something?
No, Miles. I don't hear anything.
Neither do I. Another gin, if you please. You! I know you.
Yes, that's right. I'm your biggest failure.
What are you talking about?
Come now, Miles, you're not completely stupid. You think finding and catching me is going to make things better?
Yes, I do. I owe it to Bill, and that's enough to make it worth doing.
That's very touching. But you need to face reality. Let's say you do find me, and this grand chase finally ends. What do you do the next morning? You still have a dead partner, no real job. Your wife knows you've been keeping things from her. Even if you solve 100 cases, it won't relieve that empty feeling inside.
What's your point?
I'm all you've got, Miles. Once I'm gone, there'll be nothing left. So just admit it. You don't want to find me. Not really.
Bad dreams?
You could say that.
Ashes to
Whoa.
ashes and all that. I'm glad I was buried. Cremation always seemed a bit too hot to handle.
Now's not the time for jokes, Bill.
Are you serious? Death is the best time for jokes. Otherwise, it's all just a bunch of boo-hoo-hoo this and wah-wah-wah that. And trust me, there's plenty of that in life. Hell, you'd know better than anyone.
All right. Just shut it for a bit while I look over the crime scene, would you? I need to concentrate.
Hey guys, it's Lotus, and we're back with another part of Lamplight City. I'm really trying to figure out a recording schedule for myself so that I can post more consistently. Excuse me. Till then, I don't know. So I'll be posting when I can. But yeah, in the last part, we solved case number 2. And so I think Miles just woke up from a drunken stupor. Is that the word? I don't know. But yeah, he just woke up from a drunken night. And let's see what awaits us downstairs.
So, you're up at last.
Is something the matter, Addie?
Oh, I see. You don't remember last night, do you? I
Ooh.
guess I shouldn't be surprised.
I'm guessing whatever happened last night didn't put me in your good books?
That's putting it mildly.
What happened exactly?
It was nearly 2 when you burst in here, soused to the eyeballs from God knows where. I imagine you've probably forgotten that, too. You were muttering something about peace and quiet and then proceeded to relieve yourself on my begonias before stumbling into bed.
Charming. I salute you, O Vice Admiral of the Narrow Seas.
Good God. How embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Addie. I don't know what came over me.
I don't either. I've never seen you in such a state, and I pray that I never will again.
You won't ever again, trust me. This was a one-time mistake.
I just bit off more than I could chew last night. I promise you, it won't happen again.
What possessed you to go out and get so drunk anyway?
I decided to stop taking the soporific. It was interfering with my ability to focus on cases. I thought perhaps having a drink or 2 would help me sleep, and I got a bit carried away.
I see. Well, I'm at least glad you've stopped taking that terrible medicine. But trading it for alcohol? This had better really be a one-time occurrence. Anyway, you got another message from Upton. It's there on the table, if you're feeling fit for the world now.
Child, you better stop before you lose your wife, because I feel like that's what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna be very sad because I like them together. Alright. Fordham. A new case has came in, but the police are already investigating. Details have made their way into the newspaper. I won't be able to meet you at Rowan, so here are the details. The deceased is Desiree Lathan. Her apartment is at 840 Wright Way. Good luck. C. Upton.
Huh.
What does
Okay.
Upton say this time?
That she can't meet me, and that I should go straight to the scene of the crime.
I wonder if that means the police have started to suspect that she's giving you these cases.
She also says news of this case has been made public, and the police are already investigating. Have you heard of Desiree Lathan?
Yes, there's something about her in today's paper. I didn't read the article, though. Where's the crime scene?
840 Right Way. It's not too far from here, thankfully.
You're sure you're feeling up to this today?
I'll be fine. The mental exercise will get me back to normal in no time.
Alright. Document added. Where? Ah. Yep. Okay. Newspaper. Harris baby found. Gascon Grand Dame found burned to death. Holy crap. Third mysterious murder has police on edge. Prime Minister's campaign heats up as election looms. Okay, you guys can read this, and I'll read it while I edit.
Well, this is shaping up to be quite the investigation. I should probably get a move on before the police ruin the crime scene any more than they already have.
Good luck, Miles. And stay away from the bars, would you?
Yes, my dear. Happy wife, happy life. Desiree Lathan was found burned to ashes under mysterious circumstances. Was it an accident or something more sinister afoot? Well, this is gonna be a doozy.
I'm heading out for now.
Goodbye, dear. Love you.
Love you too.
They're so cute. I hope they stay together. Oh, it's super close to where we live.
Looks as though we've arrived fashionably late.
Excuse me, sir, but this is an active crime scene. We can't allow members of the public.
Oh, this isn't just any member of the public, Kane. This is Miles Fordham. Used to be one of us until he got his partner killed.
Oh, great.
Wonderful. Officer Parsons is on the scene. It's a shock the apartment isn't in a shambles.
Good day to you too, officers.
Fordham? What are you doing here?
Ah, Captain Snelling. What a pleasure.
That's Chief Snelling now, Fordham. I don't expect you follow the workings of the department much these days, but I'd appreciate the proper address.
So nice to see the power hasn't gone to his head.
My apologies, Chief Snelling.
You haven't answered my question. What in blazes are you doing here?
The story was front page news. I couldn't resist coming to have a look for myself.
There's no respect for police business anymore. Damn meddlers. This is an active crime scene, Fordham. Leave the premises immediately.
Let's be honest, Snelling. You could use my help on this.
I see your resignation hasn't done much to curb your arrogance. We don't need any help. Not even from former detectives. Parsons, I'm going back to the station. I want your report the minute you're done here. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, don't get any funny ideas, Fordham. If you so much as breathe on anything in here, I'll have you arrested for tampering with a crime scene. Do I make myself clear?
Yeah.
Sure, whatever you say, Chief.
Keep your nose where it belongs, or you'll have me to answer to.
Well, I see
I
what we
suppose
gotta
it's
deal with from
reassuring
now
that
on.
even in this crazy, ever-changing world, you can always count on Snelling to be a complete ass.
You heard the chief. No snooping around. The sooner you get out of here, the better for all of us.
Okay. Dude, look at your face. Like...
No title.
God.
I doubt it's a diary. People rarely leave those things laying out in the open.
A letter.
An invitation to the Gascon Grand Dame's ball. It seems it was held 2 nights ago at the Gascon Supper Club. Might be worth looking into, seeing as it's our only lead right now.
Oh, okay. Where is it? Where? Who, what? Oh. I'm silly. Okay. I can talk to him.
Excuse me, Officer Parsons.
Clear off, Fordham. The chief doesn't want you here, and neither do I. You aren't on the force anymore, so you've got to respect the rules, just like every other citizen.
He'd be respecting my fist if I were alive, believe me.
I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I just want to ask a few questions.
Well, if it will get you to leave faster.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Nothing.
Because you don't know?
No, because I'm not going to betray Chief Snelling's orders and divulge that information to the public.
Come on, Parsons, you know me. What harm would it do to tell me just a little bit?
Do I have to state the obvious? If it were up to me, you'd be in jail for murdering an officer.
Wow.
I wouldn't make such claims without knowing the facts, Parsons. It could get you in serious trouble. It'd be a real tragedy to see your career cut short and you back in the workhouse polishing airship rivets.
You don't scare me, Fordham.
Rest assured, the feeling is mutual. Have you made much progress on this investigation?
Did you not hear me the first time, Fordham? Drop it before I have to arrest you for interfering with a police investigation.
You're looking well these days, Parsons. What's your secret?
Secret? I don't know. Maybe something about getting a good night's sleep without blood on my hands does wonders.
How long has Officer Kane been on the force?
I'm not one to gossip, Fordham.
That's only the second most hypocritical thing I've heard today.
Ask him yourself if you're so interested.
Why was Chief Snelling here anyway?
He's the chief of police, and this is an official investigation. It doesn't take a grand leap of logic.
Yes, but the chief of police never bothers with a crime scene unless it's of great importance.
Your point?
Does that mean this crime scene is, in fact, of great importance?
You're the investigator, Fordham. I'll leave you to work that one out.
That's all I wanted to know.
Good.
So, I didn't know this, but I guess he's being blamed for Bill's death, which is really messed up. And how would they know that? Like, they weren't there. That's kind of messed up.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
He seems more receptive to us, hopefully.
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I'm afraid not. You don't have clearance in this investigation.
And there's nothing I can say to convince you otherwise?
My superiors would be very upset if they knew I was breaking the rules. I'm sorry.
I think the operative phrase in this instance is if they knew. We need to find a way to get Parsons out of here. Maybe we should visit Upton at the station.
Okay.
How long have you been on the force, officer?
2 months, sir.
And how's it treating you so far?
This is where I was meant to be.
That's good to hear.
Parsons mentioned you used to be a detective?
I was, yes, for 15 years. It wasn't always easy, but I loved every minute of it.
Parsons goes on about how he's got his eye on becoming a detective, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
Is that right?
Yes. He's up for review. I think he's trying to impress Snelling to improve his chances.
Parsons wants to be a detective? Now I've heard it all. As if he needed more of a reason to be Snelling's lapdog.
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
I don't like to talk about my colleagues, sir. Especially when they're standing right over there.
I understand. Perhaps this isn't the right time to be asking. What was Chief Snelling doing here?
Nothing more than a routine inspection of the crime scene.
Routine inspection? But the Chief of Police only goes to extremely high-profile crime scenes.
I couldn't possibly comment on that, sir.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
Okay, so I think we can try to get this guy to be on our side. We just have to get this doofus over here out of the room.
You have to hand it to her. Miss Lathan certainly had a unique taste in fashion. I bet you could see her coming a mile away. Definitely too young to be Miss Lathan. Perhaps a relative?
Or maybe her when she was younger? Who knows? Okay, let's find Upton.
I didn't imagine we'd be coming back here in this lifetime.
Fordham, have you solved the case already?
Don't I wish? I haven't even gotten started.
Well, I'm here if you need anything. Just be sure not to let Snelling see you.
Is he back yet?
He arrived a few minutes ago. I expect he'll be sequestered in his office today, so you shouldn't have to worry too much.
Good to know. Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Back to work, I see.
Yes, well, the coffee shop holiday had to end eventually. I'm gonna have to find someplace else to meet you. The higher-ups are getting suspicious.
To be honest, it was a bit wretched there. I won't miss it.
Well then, Mr. Big Bug, you can have the honor of choosing the next place. Under a bridge somewhere, perhaps.
Have you been able to find any leads on Bill's death?
Have you?
Not yet, no.
I don't want to get your hopes up, but I may have something.
Oh?
The man you're looking for, he was burgling a flower shop, right?
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice that in the last 2 cases you've had, plants have been used to drug people. It may just be a coincidence, but I also think it's something worth looking out for. If it becomes a pattern, there's a good chance it might be related.
But 2 different people did the drugging.
True, but in both cases, they learned from someone else.
It's a stretch, but it's better than nothing. I'll take it into consideration.
Huh, okay, so I thought I was the only one who was seeing that pattern, but I never considered that maybe that was connected to each other. Okay.
I'm having some trouble with Officer Parsons.
You and everyone else who's ever met him. What's the problem?
He's keeping me away from the Lathan crime scene.
Of course. He's one of the most loyal to Snelling.
Any suggestions for how I might get him away so I can look around?
I might have an idea. There are several reported crimes that haven't been assigned yet, and Parsons is itching to prove his investigative chops. He'd probably abandon his post for a good enough lead and a chance to impress Snelling.
Up to no good. You impress me.
Department politics are something of a specialty of mine.
Any updates on the Harris baby?
He's back home and doing well thanks to you.
I'm glad to hear it.
You did an impressive job. I admit I was a bit concerned about how you'd fare after months of taking it easy. But I suppose detective work is like riding a bicycle.
It's a guaranteed way to end up with a broken arm?
I see the Gazette has caught wind of this supposed mass murderer.
Yes, Snelling has been positively fuming about it. Between that and the Lathan case being publicized on the same day, it's been a nightmare for the department.
Any idea how they got the information?
I don't think anyone in the department has spoken to the press. Maybe they just have some very good reporters.
So, is it serious? Should we be concerned?
3 murders is nothing to sneeze at, but all the victims have been men in Chumley. If that changes, then things might start getting urgent.
Isn't that just the way of things? You can bet they'd have already caught the bastard if the first body had turned up in Leon.
Okay, what did she say
About
about
getting Parsons away from the crime scene?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. The body of a young man was found in the Hodgman River by the Gascon docks this morning. A woman in Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage. And that's it for right now. Any of those strike your fancy?
Give me the details about the factory explosion.
The owner of the Hawkins Steelworks reported an explosion at his factory that killed 2 of his workers. He says he's been getting several threatening letters about his current project.
And so he suspects someone has sabotaged the operation?
Yes, likely the Redites. Do you think Parsons will be interested?
I don't know.
No, actually, let's try another one.
All right, which one?
Tell me more about the body found at the docks.
An unidentified man in his 20s was found in the river near the docks. The dock worker who reported it said that the body was bloated and decomposing. It must have been in the river several days. Dr. Edwards performed a post-mortem and determined the cause of death to be a blow to the head.
I see. Certainly leaves a lot of questions.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
Let's listen to the
No,
details.
actually, let's try another one.
All right, which one?
Of the other one.
Let's hear about the gunshot.
Ethel Williamson reported hearing a sound she described as a single gunshot coming from her neighbor's apartment last night. She said she had been hearing arguments over the past several weeks, and there may have been domestic violence involved. When she knocked on the door, she got no answer, but she said she noticed the distinct smell of flowers.
Intriguing.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
I don't know.
No,
All right.
Maybe the... Maybe
Tell me
this
more
one?
about the body found at the docks.
An unidentified man in his 20s. The doctor...
I see.
Do you think Parsons will...
Either that one or the Redites. You know
No.
what?
All right.
I'll go with this
Give me the
one.
details about the factory explosion.
The owner said...
And
Yes. Do you think
sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right. I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
Have a moment to go over my current case?
I'm afraid you're on your own this time, Fordham. The walls have ears around here. If they find out I'm helping you, it won't end well for either of us.
Understood.
I'll still be here when you've solved it, though.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it, then.
Sorry, I like going through every single dialogue. Okay. Let me save.
Damn, looks like Parsons didn't take the bait. He must not have considered that case enough to prove himself to Snelling.
Ah, hell. So, should I go back? Maybe it's the dead body.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Unfortunately,
Nothing worse than a picky investigator.
Oops, sorry.
I wish more people were like you.
thank you?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. The body of a young man was found in the Hodgman. A woman in Chumley. And that's any of those.
Maybe the body. Let's try the body.
Tell me more about the body found at the docks.
An unidentified man in his 20s was found in the river near the docks. The dock worker who...
I see.
Do you think Parsons...
Sounds good.
All right.
That's...
Better get...
Alright, let's see. No, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. Are you kidding?
Damn, looks like Parsons didn't take...
Okay. I guess it's the one that I find least
Got a moment,
interesting.
Upton?
Yes, but let's... Not...
Uh,
All right. Oh, and... any...
let's hear about...
Ethel... She's... When she...
Intrigue.
Do you think...
Sounds good.
All right.
That's it.
Better get...
It's always the flowers. Let's see if this works. Oh.
Looks like Parsons took the bait. Now maybe we can finally have a look around the crime scene.
Alright.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I couldn't really say.
Come now, I'm trying to help this investigation. Any small detail would be useful.
Well, I haven't really looked over the crime scene too much. It's rather gruesome, you see.
Is the body still here?
Yes, what's left of it at any rate. Miss Lathan was only identified by the tattoo on her foot.
I see. Has there been much progress here?
Snelling and Parsons examined the scene, that's all I know.
Do you think I might have a look, now that the initial investigation's been conducted?
I'm afraid that's out of the question, sir. I have my orders.
be in and out before you know it. I'll leave no more trace than a ghost.
If Parsons were to catch you, my career would be over.
Trust me, you won't be back for some time. I swear on my honor as a former member of the New Britannia Police.
All right. I suppose you can go in for a moment, but please be quick about it.
Thank you, Officer Kane. I promise this will stay between us.
I just love rookie officers. They're so gullible. I once got one to shine my shoes for a week after convincing him it was department policy. Good times.
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
If I'm being honest, he can be a bit much sometimes.
Trust me, you're not the only one who feels that way. I didn't have much interaction with him when I was a detective, but the few times I did weren't very pleasant.
I could tell he doesn't seem to care much for you. Although I don't think he cares much for anyone except the chief, and that's only because he's the one who gives out the promotions.
What was Chief Snelling doing here?
He was inspecting the crime scene.
Yes, but why was he involved? Is there something special about it that would require the chief of police to look into it?
Well, someone thought it might be related to the big case we're not supposed to talk about.
You mean the mass murderer?
Yes, sir. I could see why the chief is upset that the news has gotten out.
And is it related?
No, I don't believe so. But the news reports are beginning the public on edge.
Of course. The less information there is, the easier it is for rumors to start spreading.
Exactly. Chief Snelling has a lot of fires to put out.
If that's the case, it's too bad he didn't get to Ms. Lathan in time.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
That was a messed up joke. But man, it did not take very much for him to start singing like a canary. Much appreciated, sir. Ooh.
That's certainly a pungent aroma. I can see why the officer stuck to the living room.
Surprisingly modest quarters for a grande dame. You'd never guess she could buy out the likes of you and me 1,000 times over. As much as I like this painting, this isn't the time for art appreciation.
Sorry.
Doesn't look as though this fireplace has been used in a long time. I suppose we can rule it out as the source. It looks as though Miss Lathan was in the middle of writing something.
It's an article for Brentwell magazine.
Igniting the fire within.
Igniting the fires within. A bit on the nose, wouldn't you say?
Oh.
Classic Brentwell. They have a reputation for making their writers go to extremes for their articles, all for the sake of entertainment.
Perhaps we should pay their offices a visit, see exactly what it was Miss Lathan was doing for them.
Igniting the Fires Within by Desiree Lathan for Brentwell magazine. We are all familiar with the idea of an inner fire, a term usually applied to our sense of passion or determination. But what if that inner fire was of a more physical nature? That is to say, if each of us had the capability to light a real fire within our bodies. What the hell? I don't like this. This is scary.
Some crumpled up letters. They look to be of the romantic variety.
They're from the same person, one Peter Andrews.
It's always sad to see a case of unrequited love. I'm thinking we should find out who this Peter Andrews is.
Good idea. Now, are you finally willing to admit that looking through rubbish does yield results sometimes?
Fine, you win. But I don't think I envy your prize.
Ooh, I don't know if I can read this. Hold on. What is it? Oh, 2 letters. Dearest Desiree, I offer you my heart, though I am sadly unable to offer you my hand. Oh, that circumstances were different. Why must life and love both be so cruel? I must continue to love and admire you from afar. I can only hope that these feelings are mutual. Love, Peter. That's sad. My dearest Desiree, once again, I must declare my love for you. Though you have not yet responded to any of my letters, I maintain hope that you care for me as I do for you. I remain ever faithful. Call upon me, and I will rush to your side. We will embrace as Mr. and Mrs. Andrews at long last. Love, Peter. Huh. Okay. Alright. This must be her.
It's a nice portrait of Miss Lathan. Too bad it was damaged by the fire. The area where the artist's signature should be has been singed and is unreadable. Too bad.
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
Ashes to
Whoa.
ashes and all that. I'm glad I was buried. Cremation always seemed a bit too hot to handle.
Now's not the time for jokes, Bill.
Are you serious? Death is the best time for jokes. Otherwise, it's all just a bunch of boo-hoo-hoo this and wow that. And trust me, there's plenty of that in life. Hell, you'd know better than anyone.
All right. Just shut it for a bit while I look over the crime scene, would you? I need to concentrate.
This is gruesome. Okay.
Alas, poor Desiree, a woman of infinite riches, of tastes most fancy. Where's all your money now? Come to think of it, that question might be worth answering.
It's just super bizarre how that article talks about fires within and then she just dies this way. Like, what the heck?
Ugh, greasy, fetid, stinking ashes. Who knew the human body was capable of producing such a disgusting byproduct?
I'm surprised the coroner hasn't taken the body away yet.
Probably because there isn't much of a body left to take. Either that or Dr. Edwards knows better than to deal with something like this.
That's extremely unlike him. He'd jump at the chance to examine this body. Perhaps we should allow him the pleasure.
I hope you're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting. Miles, do you really want to go carrying around those stinking ashes in your pocket? It'll take ages to get the smell out.
Good point. I'll need to find something to carry them in.
Fair enough.
This one's clean. Well, aside from the fact that the rest of the leg is burned off.
Wait, so how did only this part get burned? But this survived, this survived, this survived. That's weird.
There's a tattoo on her ankle. It says, "Dancing through life." Hate to break it to her, but that dance is over. I don't think Desiree will be able to give us a hand with this investigation.
Bill?
What? I thought it was funny.
Oh, Bill. You are insufferable sometimes. So I guess we have to find something to contain the ashes.
There's a letter in here.
All these letters. Okay, I can't read that.
This just keeps getting more and more interesting. The law firm of Usher and Price isn't too far from here. I think it's definitely worth paying him a little visit.
So many objectives. Alright. Dear Miss Lathan, this letter is to inform you that we have received your request to make changes to your beneficiary as indicated in your last will and testament. Please come to the law offices of Usher and Price at 72 Cadman Street, Worcester, so that we may review the documents and make the necessary edits. Yours, Jonas Usher. Did she, like, know she was gonna die? Like, did she do this to herself?
Odd. Another pile of ashes under the bed. Looks as though whatever she kept underneath got burned too. Or it could be that whatever was under the bed is what caught fire in the first place.
Yeah.
Although, there's no evidence of what started it. All that's left is a small piece of cloth. Might as well take it.
The cloth appears to have some oily residue on it. Interesting.
Looks like this one barely managed to survive. Pity. It looked like a nice work of art.
So... okay. Maybe a vase could contain the ashes.
Was there someone else in the room just now? I thought I heard you talking.
Oh, no. It's just sometimes I think aloud when investigating crime scenes.
I see.
Good save. We don't need any more police officers thinking you're insane. Judging by these books, Miss Lathan was quite the fan of poetry. Let's just hope her taste was better than Madame Dupre's. You have to hand it.
Oh shoot, can I go back? Oh, I can't. I want to be able to get the ashes. Maybe something from home?
I'm here.
It's good to have you back.
Maybe she can help me. Adelaide always helps us.
What is it, Miles?
What have you been up to lately?
Nothing particularly exciting. My usual clients have been scheduling appointments, and I've been trying to get some new ones as well. In my free time, I've been catching up on my reading.
Anything good?
Yes, the conclusion to the dissembling mechanism was just published in Brentwell magazine last week.
What's that?
James Penstroke's latest serial. I wanted to read it to you, but you haven't been around much lately.
Perhaps I'll take a look now that I can actually concentrate again.
Yes, you could read it to me. I wouldn't mind hearing it again. It would certainly be a nicer way to spend your time than going out drinking.
Aw, they're such a cute couple reading together. I love it.
Addie, please know that I'm deeply sorry for my behavior last night. I'll do everything I can to make it up to you. Would you like me to get some new begonias?
I don't need pretty flowers or pretty words, Miles. I just want things to go back to how they were. That's really all the apology I require.
You're looking especially lovely today, Addie.
Miles, don't flirt with me. Not now.
I wouldn't push my luck with her, Miles. She hasn't completely forgiven you.
Fair enough.
Was Desiree Lathan a client of yours by any chance?
No, but plenty of the other grand dames used to gossip about her.
What sort of things would they say?
Usually they'd comment about how much she'd had to drink the night before. I got the impression she was quite the tippler. I hope you're not planning on following her example.
That would require me to burn to death in our bed.
Then I stand by my previous statement.
I'll let you get back to your book.
Bollingworth Ale. It's been so long.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the container.
Pretty.
But I don't know. Okay, never mind. Let's not deal with that. Let's just talk to this
Good
attorney.
afternoon, sir. Welcome to the law offices of Usher and Price. May I help you?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator, and I'm looking for Jonas Usher.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but Mr. Usher is not seeing anyone today. If it's a matter of urgent legal importance, you could see Mr. Price.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Yes?
If I may ask, what is the reason for Mr. Usher's refusal to see anyone today?
He has a rather important trial starting tomorrow, and doesn't want to run the risk of falling ill.
Falling ill?
And Mr. Usher is very particular about his health. Very particular.
I see. Sir, it is of the utmost importance that I speak with Mr. Usher.
And as I said, he isn't taking visitors today.
But it's in regards to his client, Desiree Lathan. Or should I say, former client.
Miss Lathan found another attorney?
No, I'm sorry to be the one to have to inform you, but she's dead.
Dead? I had no idea.
No? It was in today's newspaper.
I haven't read it yet. Mr. Usher forbids it in the office.
But surely he's read it, just because he forbids you reading the paper in the office.
No, I mean he forbids the presence of newspapers in the office. He fears they bring in outside germs.
I see.
In any case, if what you say is true, I'll need some sort of proof.
I suppose just bringing in a copy of the newspaper is out of the question, then. We'll have to find another way.
How the hell am I supposed to prove that?
Perhaps Mr. Usher will see me when he sees this.
Oh, what's that?
A letter from Mr. Usher to his client, Desiree Lathan.
What? That's private correspondence. How did you get that?
It was evidence I found at a crime scene.
And how is it relevant?
The crime scene in question was Miss Lathan's own bedroom, where she was found burned to death.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Fordham. I can assure you that Mr. Usher deals primarily with facts. Right now, the only fact this letter proves to me is that you somehow rummaged through Miss Lathan's possessions and acquired it.
He does have a point. We'll need something a bit more persuasive.
Oh my god. Okay.
I actually don't have anything to show.
Right. Please stop wasting my time then. I'm very busy.
I appreciate your time.
Enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
Well, that went nowhere. Let's check in with Upton.
Keep up the good work, Upton. I might have some more questions later.
I have no doubt you will.
Never mind. Okay. Nice talk. Let's go here. Woman. Oh, I thought I clicked that.
Excuse me, miss?
Oh, well, hello there, handsome. I've never seen you around here before. Care to join me for a drink?
A bit early in the day, don't you think?
Perhaps I would think, if I wasn't on my third cocktail.
Impressive. You may have just met your match.
The name's Miles Fordham, and you are?
Charlotte Robineau.
Pleasure. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
I suppose not. It would help pass the time.
Were you here for the Grand Dame's ball the other night?
Of course, we all were. Well, except for Laura. Terrible business.
You mean Laura Dupre?
The very same. Have you met?
I have. In fact, I investigated her attempted murder.
Is that right? I heard she ended up in jail for torturing her servants.
Yes, it was quite disturbing.
I didn't think Laura was capable of such a thing. She always seemed so kind. I guess we all have our dark secrets.
Does that apply to you as well, Miss Robineau?
If I told you, then it would no longer be a secret, would it?
Fair point.
That was weird. For some reason, the game kind of skipped.
Do you know Desiree Lathan?
I knew her, yes.
When did you last speak to her?
Oh, it's been ages. She and I haven't had much to do with each other for a while.
Why is that?
It's really not important.
Ooh, it's
We
doing
just
it
didn't
again.
see eye to eye on a few things.
Was she at the Grand Dame's ball?
Yes, she was. Drinking up a storm, as usual. Desi really knew how to enjoy herself.
How much did she drink?
Oh, I don't know. She used to outmatch me, and I can handle quite a bit.
What can you tell me about Desiree's death?
Just what I've read in the papers. She burned to death. It's horrible. She certainly didn't deserve to die in such a gruesome way.
Did she have any enemies? Anyone who might have wanted to do her harm?
No. Everyone loved her.
Except you?
Mr. Fordham, I said we haven't had much to do with each other. That doesn't mean I didn't care for her. Now please, let's drop the subject.
Is the name Peter Andrews familiar to you?
Peter Andrews? Is he still around?
I'd be able to tell you that if you told me who he is.
He's desperate. That's who he is. A lovesick fool who is obsessed with Desi. Sent her love letters all of the time.
Well, you know where I can find him.
Why would you want to?
Because I want to question him about Miss Lathan's death.
I suppose that makes some sense. All I remember Desi telling me is that he worked at the Bank of Vespuccia, a clerk or some such. Imagine.
Thank you. That's very helpful. Tell me a little about yourself.
Why, Mr. Fordham, I hardly know you. Well, that said, I'm always open to making new friends.
Ooh, watch out, Miles. I think she's getting ready to pounce.
Oh no, don't call. Oh god. Wait, what happens? I don't know.
You've really got a great sense of fashion and style. All the other grand dames must be jealous.
Oh, you.
Okay. I don't think it really does anything. So.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you get back to
That
your
was
drink.
something I kind of had to do.
Sweetheart.
I'm not cheating. I'm married. Oh, there's so much to do. Let's see. We went there. Now we need to go here.
Ah, hello there. Are you here to drop off an article?
No, actually, I'm a private investigator. The name's Miles Fordham.
How exciting. You must have so many interesting stories.
You could say that, yes.
Please, come in, come in. I'm Alan Brentwell, owner and publisher of Brentwell Magazine.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Empty.
I have some questions for you, Mr. Brentwell.
Wonderful! It's so seldom I get to answer questions.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Desiree Lathan. Oh, why, she came to me a few weeks ago in response to an ad I took out requesting articles. She told me she had an idea readers would love. We agreed on 3 crowns per paragraph, and she was on her way. Come to think of it, I haven't heard from her in a few days.
Wait. You're in charge of a magazine, yet you don't know that she died? Do you not read the newspaper?
Were you aware that Miss Lathan is dead?
What? No, I had no idea. What happened?
I'm not exactly sure. She seems to have burned to death under mysterious circumstances.
Mysterious circumstances?
Most of her body was burnt to ash, but there's very little fire damage around her. It's as though she herself just caught fire.
Oh, that sounds positively ghastly. Oh dear.
Is something wrong?
I just remembered. The article she was writing. Dear God. I hope she didn't go too far with her research.
What exactly was Desiree's article about?
I'm not entirely sure. She merely came to me with the proposal.
She didn't tell you what that idea was?
She did, but I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Please, Mr. Brentwell.
It was about
Sorry.
Spontaneous human combustion.
What do you know about spontaneous human combustion?
That's the thing. I don't know very much at all. It sounded interesting enough. That's why I accepted Miss Lathan's proposal to write the article about it.
But what do you know about it?
Only that it's a mysterious phenomenon in which a person catches fire spontaneously and burns to death. It sounds exactly as you described Miss Lathan's condition.
Do you know what Miss Lathan's research on the subject involved?
Only the one contact I gave her, a Miss Angela Maxwell at the Spectre Society in Gascon.
Oh my god. Okay, this is crazy because one of the books at the Spectre Society was about spontaneous human combustion. So I feel like a lot of these cases are connected to each other somehow, which is crazy.
The Spectre Society, huh? Shouldn't be surprised to hear that name again.
Are you a member?
Actually, I am.
Then I suggest you do some research there. There's bound to be something relevant in that curious library of theirs.
Thank you. Perhaps I will. Tell me about Brentwell Magazine.
We're a monthly publication focusing on both fiction and non-fiction pieces.
Ah, yes, you're publishing that serial, aren't you? The Dissembling Mechanism?
You're a subscriber! Tell me, what did you think of the conclusion? Quite astonishing, wasn't it?
I haven't had a chance to read it yet, I'm afraid.
Ah, then I won't say any more about it. My dream was to have a magazine that was well-respected and educational. But sadly, it seems today's audiences are much more interested in reading about sightings of giant bat creatures or mysterious buried treasures. Such a pity.
I hear you have a bit of a reputation for making your reporters do questionable things for their articles.
You are mistaken, Mr. Fordham. I don't force my writers to do anything. They seem to have this notion that the more extreme their research, the more authentic the articles will be.
What sort of extremes are we talking about here?
We had one writer who attempted to heighten the sensation of fear she wanted to express in her story. Damn near decapitated herself by sticking her head through an opening at the clock tower at St. Denis Cathedral. Ugh. Thankfully, she made it out alive. It would have been quite the predicament if she hadn't. Especially considering that was our most popular article last year. Oh, people have such odd taste.
What made you decide to start this business?
I always wanted to be a journalist. I never had much luck with any of the local papers, though. So I decided to start my own. I admit it's not exactly what I wanted, but I like to think Brentwell magazine has found its own unique voice.
Voice? More like a gurgling scream.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Brentwell.
The pleasure is all mine.
Okay. Oh man, we gotta go back to the Spectre Society.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
Could I ask you about some things, Miss Maxwell?
Certainly, darling.
Oh, here we go. With the darling stuff. Great.
Are you familiar with a woman named Desiree Lathan?
Yes, she came to see me just last week. She told me she was doing research for an article she was writing for Brentwell magazine.
What sort of research?
She asked me a few questions and looked at my books. That was all. She wasn't here for very long.
And what was she researching?
Something about spontaneous human combustion, I believe.
Did you know that Desiree Lathan is dead?
What? My God, no. I didn't. What happened to her?
She was found burned to death in her bed.
How awful.
Do you have any idea how this may have happened?
There are a number of possibilities. But if she was in the middle of researching spontaneous human combustion, and then to have this happen, it can't be a coincidence.
Are you suggesting she herself was a victim of spontaneous combustion?
One need only compare the circumstances of her death with the facts, darling.
She can't be serious, can she?
I mean, so far, it's sounding like it.
What can you tell me about spontaneous human combustion?
I'm not overly familiar with the subject, but I do have a book about it on the shelf back there. You are welcome to look at it if it will help.
I may, but I'd like to know what your understanding of it is.
Well, I believe it is when the human body inexplicably catches fire and burns. It usually occurs among elderly women who drink to excess, and very little fire damage is caused around the body. That's really all I know, darling. It's not a very agreeable subject for study now, is it?
Thank you for the information. It was very enlightening.
It was my pleasure, darling.
Oof, man, this is creepy. I'm gonna reread the book.
This all sounds strangely familiar, but spontaneous human combustion can't be real, can it? Then again, sometimes the simplest explanation is the correct one.
Spontaneous human combustion is a highly controversial subject, but remains popular among scholars, aficionados of the occult, and unexplained. The term refers to death from a fire originating without any apparent source of external ignition. The fire is believed to start within the body of the victim. So does someone like put a curse on the person? I don't know. The 1823 book Medical Jurisprudence states the commonalities and recorded cases of spontaneous human combustion, including the following characteristics. 1. The victims are chronic alcoholics. 2. They are usually elderly females. 3. The hands and feet usually fall off. 4. The fire has caused very little damage to things around the body. 5. A residue of greasy and fetid ashes is left behind. Most physicians and investigators strongly believe that spontaneous human combustion is a product of alcoholism. Well, well, well. She pretty much fits the bill 5 out of 5, so that is creepy. Oh, okay, we can go to Upton and say that her death is the result of spontaneous human combustion, which is interesting. I'm gonna stop there because this has been a lot and we're still gathering information. But anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye.